Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Piergrossi podcast. That's me. And it's Monday morning here. I'm in the great state of New Jersey today. The great state of New Jersey. New Jersey gets a little bit of a bad reputation around America, but there's some beautiful spots. And I'm in one of them visiting my sister today, and it's really good to be with all of you. We are live on Facebook. We're not live on Instagram today. I'm going to try something a little different where we record on Instagram. There's usually a button where I can share this with my group, and I don't see it here. Facebook's always changing things and rearranging things. So, Mark, if you're live, if you could share this to the Big Low community and anywhere else that would feel inspiring to share to all of you, just click that little share button. If this moves you or inspires you or activates you or gets you excited or makes you feel wonderful to be alive or feels like it would make a positive impact on other people, then I think the amplification of our joy, of our excitement, of our inspiration, of our love comes when we share it. We're communal beings, we're communal creatures. I don't even think that we're isolated individuals at all, actually, but that's a whole deeper dive. Thank you, Mark. So that's why I share. That's why I feel inspired to share here, and why I feel called to share here, and it definitely is fulfilling for me. It makes me kind of remember and realize why I'm here and what we're here for, and the sense of meaning and purpose comes into being, and I invite that and welcome that for all of us. So, and this is also archived as a podcast, by the way. So wherever you get your podcasts, you just look up my name and you'll be able to find it wherever you listen to your podcast. Listen to it while you're working out or you're driving in your car. Those are two of my favorite ways to listen to podcasts. Or walking down the street or listen with friends and discuss. And you can usually find it on YouTube also. So lots of ways to dive in and explore. So, desire. So what happened is I've been talking so much about the now and being in the now and living in the now and the now being all there is and being present in this moment, and this moment is where it's at, and this moment is the place to transcend suffering, right? This moment is the place to recognize who you are and to live in the vitality of life and to find inner peace and to find freedom and to find love and to find empowerment. That something interesting has happened that we're going to speak to right now. We're going to speak to it directly right now. And not only in what I communicate, but you find this in teachings that we could call spiritual teachings, right? The Eastern spirituality, the teachings of the Buddha, Zen Buddhism, teachings of the East in general, Advaita Vedanta, which is the mystical branch of Hinduism, the teachings of Eckhart Tolle, which have been a great inspiration to me. So what you find is, obviously, Christianity as well, the organized religions, Islam. You find Judaism. Do I have to name every one of them? You get the point, that there is this suppression of the energy of desire, this repression of the energy of desire, as desire being the cause of suffering, as desire being that which takes you away from the moment, right? Which makes sense on a certain level. I'm desiring something in the future, so that would take me away from the now, right? I'm desiring something in the future, so that would take me away from the moment. On the surface, on a kind of a initial look, it makes perfect sense. I definitely feel like I went through a phase where I had that perspective, like many people do. I don't want to desire anything because I desire something that takes me away from the moment. Then I don't get it. I won't have it. Then I'm in a state of suffering. So it's better not to desire anything and just be content with what is, right? And it may seem like that's what I'm saying, but it's actually not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is this. So listen close. What is in the present moment? What is in the present moment? Everything is in the present moment. Everything is in this moment. Everything is here. Everything is now. Everything. Including your desires. Including your desires. Including what it is that you want. So if you're not fully present, if you're not fully aware of what it is that you want and what it is that you desire, then that want, that desire is working subconsciously. And that want, that desire is being suppressed and being repressed. And your energy, your vitality level is being repressed and suppressed. So, you can walk down the street in pretty much any country in this world, and what you see is people with repressed dreams, with repressed desires. And that energy is weighing down on them as an individual, and it's weighing down on us as a collective culture. The energy is weighing down on us. It's heavy. There's a heaviness. There's a heaviness. When you start to be present in the moment and you start to notice and become aware of your desires, there's an energy, there's an infusion, there's an inspiration, there's a creative energy. The energy of desire is really the creative energy, right? I want to create this, I want to create that. I want to do this, I want to see this, I want to be there, I want to go here, I want to there. All these different things. There's an energy of, children have this naturally. Like so many of the spiritual teachers have talked about children being a source of inspiration, right? They model certain things for us. So children have a natural, are naturally able to move in the energy of desire and the energy of imagination. They're naturally able to move in the energy of desire and the energy of imagination. And as we get older, our desires get repressed, our imagination disappears, and we get old, right? Old people without any desire or imagination. And it's possible to be in the energy of desire and imagination. And in fact, the way to be in the energy of desire and the energy of imagination is to be present. You don't get into the energy of desire and imagination by being lost in the past or lost in the future. It's from being deeply engaged, immersed in this moment right now. Now, the energy of desire is fulfilling in it of itself. Very important. Very, very important. So listen closely. The energy of desire is fulfilling in and of itself. Whether or not the desire is fulfilled in the future is irrelevant because there is no future. There's only this moment now. So the fulfillment, the inspiration comes from being in the energy of desire now, being in the energy of creativity now, being the energy of excitement about the future now. You can't be excited about the future in the future. You can only be excited about the future now. You can only be inspired about the future now. You can only be in love with your future now. You can only be in love with your past now. You can only be excited about the past and grateful for the past and appreciative of the past you've had now. So your relationship with the past, your relationship with the future, the way you imagine the future, the way you imagine the past is happening now. Your relationship with your partner, with your husband, with your wife, with your daughter, with your son, with your grandma, with your grandpa, with your neighbor is happening now. Your relationship with yourself is happening now. So to come into an embrace, to come into harmony with your desires truly and authentically now. Not to be caught up in, well, what if it doesn't happen, or I can't do it, or I don't know how to do it, or I'm not smart enough, or I don't have enough money, or I don't live in the right place, or I don't look the right way. All of that is a suppression of desire. It's not relevant. Not that it can't be addressed, it will be addressed. But to be in the energy, now. So, what kind of desires does this include? All of them. Whatever is arising right now, that's the desire that it includes. So, sexual desires, desire to make more money, desire for more wealth, desire to have this or that as my possession, the desire to change my career, the desire to do what I love, the desire to live in a beautiful place, the desire to be in a beautiful place, to vacation in a beautiful place, to holiday in a beautiful place. Whatever the desire is, it's happening now. To be in the energy of desire. So when you're in the energy of desire, think of it like this. You're in an energy of flow. You're in an energy of... You can actually visually see somebody, which you rarely ever see, but if you see somebody that's really tapped into the energy of desire, there's like there's input, output, input, output, input, output, flowing. It's not cut, it's not repressed, it's not resisted, it's not stuck, right? So when your energy of desire is repressed and suppressed, that's the energy of disease. It's the energy of sickness. It's the energy of depression. This is kind of like, I feel like this is kind of like graduate level in a way. But in a way, it's just really human. It's just how to be a human being. So I think people like the Buddha were misunderstood and misinterpreted in this regard. In Buddhism, they say that desire is suffering. Well, I disagree with that. And it's probably, of all the religions of all the past, I feel most akin to Buddhism and Zen. But that's a misinterpretation from my perspective. The sense of desire of wanting to be somewhere else is the cause of suffering. But being in the desire in this moment right now is the way to transcend suffering. It seems like it's a slight distinction, but it's actually gigantic, right? So not wanting to be here in this moment is the cause of suffering. Oh, I want to get into the future because the future is better than now. That's the cause of suffering. But I'm fully in this moment, including allowing the desires of this moment to move through me. That's the transcendence of suffering. Do you see the distinction between those two things? It's huge. And you don't hear it talked about very often. And the desire is whatever it is, right? That's kind of the surrender. That's the letting go. So, I desire to eat lunch now. I desire to get outside and go for a walk. I desire to read this particular book by this author. I don't know why, it's just what I desire. Like, these desires come in, and you start to be in the flow of synchronicity. This is the flow of synchronicity. So in other words, you don't have to know why you desire it. There really is no why. The why is just made up. We make up the why. We make up these stories as to why. But it's just an energy that wants to move, right? So you become one with the creative energy. You become one with what I call the creative fire of the universe. And then your desire moves, and it's simple desires like I desire to eat an apple right now. You start to tune in that desire, and you start to pay attention, and you start to notice when you're present. You notice those little desires where before you wouldn't have noticed them, and you would have repressed them or suppressed them or ignored them because you weren't present. But now because you're present, you can notice, oh, I actually am hungry for an apple right now. My body wants an apple. So small desires like I want an apple, or big desires like, I'm really noticing that this relationship is not working for me, and I desire a different kind of relationship. And here's the kind of desire, right? Or I desire to live by the beach, or I desire to live in the mountains, or I desire to live in a big city. Whatever it is for you at that moment, you're paying attention, you're attuned, you're listening. Make sense? So it's a very important point. So when I talk about being in the energy of the present moment, that includes the energy of desire, 100%. It's the only way to really get connected and in touch with the energy of what you truly, authentically desire. So what we're going to do, Helena says, it's the same as being passionate in the moment. Exactly. So if you notice, a lot of these like Buddhist types, they're not very passionate. Because they've misinterpreted the essence of this truth. There's this repression, the suppression of desire. There's like the energy it's like there's a lid on the energy, but when you just allow the energy to flow, and this is where I think, the future is tantric, right? So the real good, a lot of the tantric teachings aren't very grounded these days, shall we say. But the essence of Tantra is exactly what I'm talking about. It's the transcendence of formless and form as one. So you're moving through the energy of form, you're moving through the energy of desire, you're embracing the form, you're embracing the desire, and in fully embracing the form and in fully embracing the desire, you transcend it. You're in the world, but not of it. Right? To fully embrace the dream of life is to realize that that life is a dream. Your questions, comments are welcome. I'll be checking the thread here. So here's what we're going to do, all right? It's an invitation for you. This is just an initial invitation, which will be more clarified and specified as we go forward. So this is mid-May. In the summer, I think this will be in the midsummer. I think it will be probably in July. We're going to shift to a 14-day challenge. All right, a 14-day challenge to really get connected to your desires, to really get connected to what you desire in a few key areas. Physical fitness, your relationship, your work, finances, right? So lifestyle, vitality, in all these key areas of your life. When I say relationship, that includes community, that includes family, that includes, the entire realm of human connection. So we're going to support each other to upgrade through connecting to our desires and really getting into the practice of manifestation in all these key areas of our life. So it'll be at the same time, except that we'll be in a private group that's set up for us, and it will be same like this, free. The trial will be free. The 14 days will be free. So if you want to be a part of it, just write in the comments or send me a message. I'll be giving a lot more details on this as we go forward. But write in the comments or send me a message, and we'll put you in the group. And I just see this beautiful vision of just a community of people around the world that are just taking this dream to the next level, like really realizing that this dream is a lucid dream and we can dream whenever we want in it. And that's very exciting to me, and I trust it's very exciting to you. And I see us co-creating such a magical world together. That's what I see. And that's the desire, right? So stay tuned for much more on that. This week, there's some traveling. So, smiling all over the face. Hi, Akshaya. Welcome. There's been traveling, so some days I may be here at this time, some days not. We'll see. I think tomorrow it will be. Wednesday, we have the Secret Glow, our private community, our members-only community, which you're able to join. There's that button. No, that's not that button. Nope. You're able to join. Let me put this link in the comments here. Some of you that are live with me right now are in this group. I've really been loving it. I've been loving the sense of community. We go in depth in some things that we don't go into here. People can share more personally. People can share more intimately. People can get to know each other and support each other. There's people from around the world in our group. So we meet every Wednesday, and we meet for usually about an hour. People come on live. We do live sessions with people. It's an amazing, beautiful community. So check that out. I highly recommend you check that out. Meanwhile, the 40-day challenge will be a couple months away, but this you can join now, and that's a 7-day free trial, and really nothing to lose, and so much to gain and connect with. So definitely check that out and register there. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Personal sessions, if you want a personal session with me, let me know. We got some retreats coming up in Europe, in Mallorca, Spain, the island of Mallorca, Spain particularly, coming up. That's still a lot of space available. Thank you all for being here, for sharing this space. It's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor, it's a gift. Let's keep this energy moving to the rest of the day, exploring, inquiring, and I will see you in the next now.